So far, like we have executed the test through test.ngxml. Now we're gonna see the execution through Maven as well as in through pom.xml. If I right click over here, I should be able to run it with these Maven phases, right? This is because when we'll be running it through Jenkins, then we will be giving Maven commands over there. So in order to do that, like the way we have implemented a Surefire plugin in data driven, same thing we would be doing it over here as well, where we need to specify our runner file, that is testng.xml, which is inside src test resources and then com w2a runner. So we need to specify over here test resources com then w2a then the runner. Right. So now I can right click on the project or even on the pom.xml file and I can say run as maven clean. So first it should gonna clean the project, right? Build success. And now we're gonna run this. So I'm gonna say run as maven test. So we can do this from command prompt as well by firing the Maven commands, or we can directly do it from Eclipse as well, since Maven plugin is already there in the latest Eclipse IDE. So all the tests will start running from here. The other thing we're gonna fix is the logger. If you see over here, we are facing no appenders could be found for loggers. So we're gonna fix this issue as well. Right, so it works fine. Right, and the mailing it's working at once the test route is finished, right? So build success. Right, now log4j properties is over here, which is inside com w2a log4j. First we need to look where we have mentioned the log files. It's an application and Selenium logs, so all the logs should get generated in page object model. The framework name is page object model basics, src test resources, then com, then w2a. This should be the path. I'll copy this for application logs as well as for Selenium logs, right? And then inside our pom.xml file, we need to specify the test resources, that is the log4j properties inside src test resources and com then w2a and properties, right? So now if I run this again, say run as maven test, it should not throw that warning again. And see, the warnings are gone. It means now we should be able to see the logs that are being generated. All right, so let's open up the log files and application logs. You can see these are the latest logs. Right now the system time is 1:30 a.m. It's 1:29 a.m. So config file loaded or file loaded, navigated to this, right? And then same thing, we're gonna look for the Selenium logs as well. So we have Selenium logs also being generated for the same time, right? And if we take a look at the extent report, we should have the extend report as well. Yeah. So all these steps that we are seeing over here, if you want to see these steps in the log files as well, so wherever you have implemented steps for extend report, same thing you can do it for your logger as well. So currently the logs are being generated, the application log is like navigated to zoho.com, right? Which is we are doing it over here, log.debug navigated to this. So same thing, you can do it with your click. So you can say log.debug and then you can say clicking on an element and plus locator. Same thing, you can do it over here, log.debug, typing in an element plus locator, entered value as plus value, right? And same thing for selecting an element, debug, selecting from an element, value as, right? So what happens if you run this project again? Same steps, you're gonna find it generated in your logs as well. Right, so if I go back to application logs, you can see clicking on an element, this, typing in an element, entered value as this. All the logs are being generated over here as well. Right, so this is a benefit of creating keywords so that you need not to do log.debug again and again. You can wrap it into a method, and whenever you call that method, it should be added to your log file accordingly. Right. Now, let's set up Jenkins to execute this build the way we are doing it with Maven command over here. Same thing we can do it with Jenkins. So first, let me start the Jenkins services. So I'll go to the location where I have my Jenkins bar file. I'll go to command prompt from here, and I'll paste this. So we're going to start the Jenkins services. So it takes some time when you're doing it for the very first time once you have rebooted the machine. So let's wait for a few seconds. And once we see the method Jenkins is fully up and running, then we are good to go, right? The other thing you need to make sure when you're starting Jenkins services, you need to add this flag. Otherwise, your reports will not be supported, right? The HTML format of the report. So Java -d Hudson model directory browser support.csp equal to null, then -jar jenkins.var. This is the command that you need to give. So let's wait for a few more seconds till the time we see the message that says Jenkins is fully up and running. So finally, Jenkins is fully up and running, and now we're gonna go over here, type localhost 8080. So this should bring up the Jenkins UI. And here we're going to create a new item, Maven project, and name it as page object model. I'll say live project, right? And I'll click on OK. So here I'm gonna do this build as a parameterize and parameterize with what choice parameter, and the choice should be browser, and I'll give the value as Firefox, Chrome, IE, right? And then I'll go over here and give the root POM XML as the POM XML path and paste it over here. Say clean and test. And after that, I'm gonna add some reports, publish HTML reports, right? So all this HTML report plugin and creating filters, again, as I said, we have covered in the very first project, data driven. So just go through that project to follow the detailed instruction on these steps that we are doing over here, right? So I'll click on that, and I'll say extend.html is the report that will be adding. Extend.html extend report, and the directory to archive will be where we are generating target surefire report HTML, and here the index, the extend.html is being generated. So I'll just copy this and paste it and hit save. Right. So let's go back to our dashboard and let's see where the project is. This is live project page object model. I'll click on build and it asks for the browser. So very first we're going to try it with Chrome. I'll say build. So you'll see it's pending, waiting for the next available executor. The build is started. Let's see the output in the console and see everything if it works fine. It's executing and scanning the project. And launching the Chrome browser. Clicked on login and the very first test successfully executed. And now again see the mail is being sent out, right? Now we're gonna look at the mails, whether we are on the extend report, we should be able to see through these mails or not. See, these were sent earlier and this is the very recent one. So I'm going to click on this and it should take us, oh, this is the previous like data driven project. We have not made changes since we are doing copy paste. So what we need to do is and custom listeners where we are sending out the email. So what we need to change this to our project that we have created it on Jenkins. So this is basically this path. We should not have added any space over here, right? That's fine. So let me copy this much and add it like this, right? So what happened if I go back to the project and if I run it again? This time we can try it with Firefox. So we can make sure that it works fine cross browsers. It should work fine on Chrome, on Firefox, and then on any browser that we configure. Firefox is a bit slow as compared to Chrome. See, it's being launched. And being navigated to zoho.com. And entire execution done. The mail is being sent out. So let's wait. Now let's check. We have a new mail over here. Just click on this and click on this link. Uh, Probably some issue over here. So this path should be something like when we go over here, we click on extend report. So these are the extend reports, right? So this should match what we have in over here. Let's see what is not matching. So we have life project, then we have this, and we have page object model, and we have extend. Okay, this is extend report basically, right? So if I do extend report, so this should work, right? So instead of extend report, so this is because I have given it the name as extend report. So we need to give it extend report over here. So now this time it should work fine, right? But you can see the configuration, everything remains same. Whatever that we have done it in the case of data driven, because data driven is like the base of any framework. So page object model is nothing. It just like we are creating different business pages and then taking out test cases from those business pages, right? And creating all the common utilities that we have seen in data driven. But again, this is just a basic approach. This page object model is again a basic framework that we have designed so far, because the next level of framework we're going to see again page object model in a new form with very high level of things implemented, including something called as generic, something related to multi-threading. So those are the things that we're going to implement it in our upcoming project, where we're going to talk about page object model, page factories, right, and different wrappers we're going to create, right? So that is another level of project that we're going to see, right? But before that, we're going to add couple more things to this framework to make it more robust, right? So let's finish this lecture here itself, and then in the next lecture, we're going to add some more test cases to this framework, right?